All right, so whoops. Hopefully I don't do that again. So I don't know how many of y'all will be in here, but I am going to be starting off with a makeup live. This is my favorite makeup look. This is for Valentine's Day, and I'm going to, after we're done, hey, Flo, hi, how are you? So I'm going to be doing my favorite makeup look for y'all, and then after we're done here, we're going to make some food. So if y'all want to stick around for the whole thing, I think I do have to be done by at least 5 o'clock. Don't mind these. This is tilted. These are not. Let me see if I can fix it, because that would drive me up a wall. No? Okay. All right, so we are going to get started. This is going to be a smoky eye look, and it is going to be with bangs. Thank you for coming in, and Flo. It's good to have you. So this is going to be with bangs. It's going to be for like with straight hair, but this look also looks really good without bangs, with your hair up. So we're just going to get started. It's pretty easy, and you're not going to have to mess too much with your eyebrows, especially if you have bangs, okay? So I'm just going to push these off to the side so we can get started. Hey, Pets, hi. Pets, I don't know if you can like pin a comment or something that well, it says it, I titled it, so. Okay, perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so just ignore this 80s sweep. Hey, Haley, hello. Y'all, so we're gonna start off with the makeup look. Like I said, this is my favorite makeup look. It's my go-to. It works really well for brown eyes, super dark. Hi, Sammy. Super dark eyes. Oh, okay. Okay. Super dark eyes, it works well for if you have green, or if you have like blue eyes. If you add a little purple to it, it'll even work even better for that look. Hi, William. Hello. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So my first thing that I'm using here, hold on a second. So I brought everything down with me. So we're doing the makeup, and then we're gonna go to food, because it just seems like it would be easier. I don't want the food to just sit there and get cold. Okay, so this is a buildable foundation. This is the Huda Beauty foundation, okay? And I do have a mirror here, so if I look down, you'll know why, okay? So this one is really good for like a tan look, so get the shade that's darkest for you, or whatever it is you use when, you know, during summer or whatever, okay? So that's just how I put it. I don't need to put a whole lot. I never like to put a whole lot because I don't want it to get crispy. So how are y'all doing? Thank you. Thank you. This is, sorry, I have to, it's a little bit lower than what I would like. Let me just move it up a little bit because I don't want all that showing. Whatever. Okay, so it's a dress, and I'll show you guys once I get up and everything, you'll be able to see it. So when I saw this dress, I really wanted it because it reminded me of 90s. And also my mom used to have something like this, but it had sleeves. How are you guys doing? You guys, this makeup look, I did already put my eyebrows in place, and I'm not going to need to do too much to them because I have bangs, but you can. And sometimes, you know, when you put a top on or something like that, like while on camera, you're not going to be able to tell when you're sitting down that there's a little bit more of the cleave showing. So if my ladies, if y'all see a little too much and I don't notice, let's have a code word. Good, good. Thank you so much. Yeah, if y'all see a little too much showing, give me a code word. What is our code word? We need a code word. Just let me know, so then, because I might not see it. Because when you're standing, like, you know, things are different, right? If you lean forward, and I'm not trying to show all of that. Okay. So I've got this. As you can see, it's super pale right now, right? What is that? Oh, that was weird. Code word. Rubber ducky? Okay, perfect. I like it. I'm going to add just a little bit more of this tan one. And you guys, because we are going to be contouring with this, you might be able to kind of get a little bit color more back in there. Okay. So I do like a Huda foundation, but I do feel that some of the colors sometimes are not very accurate. So it does tend to be lighter, on the lighter side, not darker. You know how some foundations, they end up being a lot darker than you expect. Hudas tend to be lighter. Okay. And because I do have like a ring light on my face, this looks a lot brighter there than it does here or in person, which is fine. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do this way, so I like to contour right after I do this because I need to see kind of where I stand with the color. So again, if y'all remember, so for this look, we're going to have more of a squared face. I'm not going to worry too much about my forehead because it's going to be covered. So right there, we do the nose here, here, and here. So this one looks really good with black. It looks really good with red. It looks amazing with forest green. This look that we're doing today. This is one of my go-tos. Okay. And then we draw down here. Remember, you want this part just like that. Then my nose. Okay, and then for my eyebrows, I've already gelled them down. And I am trying to do this one more like on the quick side, just because I know that I am on a time. Look at that. I have to go by 5, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna be done by then, so it'll be fine with the food and the makeup. Just put this in here. Hold on. Did I not grab it? I had my little spoolie. Okay, whatever. So for this, I'm going to, just like I said, very lightly do the brows. It's not going to be anything major, not like I usually do them, just because they're not really going to be showing. That's not the one. So basically, just if my like bangs fly up, or if I move them out of the way, my eyebrows look filled in, but they don't have to be super sharp or anything. Because I will bring my bangs down at some point for the look to just kind of gauge where I'm going with it. Okay, that's more than enough for me. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do is I'm going to grab a black, but in kind, it's like pasty. If you don't have this, you can use one of the NYX jumbo pencils that has that's in black. You can use one of those or use something like this. So that's going to be, so the black is going to be our base. And I know that there are a lot of people, like if you don't wear a lot of makeup, there are a lot of people who are kind of scared of going with the black. But don't be afraid, I'll show you why. Okay, because for this look you do need the black. Okay, and then with a flat brush like this, we're going to take this. I'm going to look crazy for a minute, but that's okay, right? You're going to take this and we're going to put it just right on the lid. You don't want to go all the way up into where your bone is or into this hollow part, just right here on the lid. So for Valentine's Day dinner, I did find at Kroger that they had scallops on sale and shrimp on sale. And that doesn't happen very often. Okay, so there you see the eye. That's what's happening right now. And then you go to this eye. So that's what I grabbed to make Valentine's Day dinner. So that's what I'll be making later. I'll be making the scallops and the shrimp. And we'll also be making our, the quiche. Okay, and then once you get to this point, we're gonna start kind of just blending this out. You're going to need a smaller domed brush. Hold on. It's not this one. That one's angled. Okay, so you're gonna take one of these. You just stream to Twitch, but wanted to pop in and say hi. This gorgeous top. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, and have a wonderful stream, honey. Okay, so we're going to blend this black out. So just hold your eye, don't pull it, obviously, because you don't want to change your eye shape too much. This is just to get it blended and to kind of just give you a base, right? And this is not the famous goth look that we've been seeing lately. Oh, so I'm going to show you guys how to make an authentic quiche, and it's a French style quiche. That's how we've always made it. So that's what we're making. Hi, Mel's. Hello. Ignore the insanities. You guys, this is very bright. What if I turn off the light? I don't want you guys to think that my foundation is not my color, because it is. Thank you. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn this off, because I do have natural light in the background. Is that too dark? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hold on. Okay, is that too dark? Because like this, it doesn't look as bright. Okay. Let me just put it, whatever. Forget it. I don't care. Okay. And I will do this part. Okay, so let me finish this part so I don't look crazy if somebody's just walking it. Okay, so we're just blending this out. And you guys, this isn't going to be one of those situations where, okay, perfect, Mills. So this isn't going to be one of those situations where you're going to blend this outward. And you're also not going to have to worry about doing like the cat eye eyeliner. Okay, this one, we're just focusing it just right in here. Okay. So this one will also be easy for someone who's a beginner, even though it doesn't look like it would be. Hi, Mish. Hello. Welcome in. It doesn't look like it would be, okay? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start building up our eyeliner, and this is going to be a very intense eyeliner that you're going to keep refreshing, okay? So I'm going to start it with this jumbo pencil here. You're going to do your waterline, and it's okay if it goes down a little bit because we're blending. And it's good to start to add this as your base from the beginning, because it gives you an idea of what you're doing, okay? And I'm going to bring my bangs down, and y'all will see how that looks. It looks very different with the bangs down. If my bangs weren't down, my eyebrows would be very different. It's it's a smoky eye, but it's also like a, no, yeah. But it's also kind of like a femme fatale look, and I'll tell you why. Once it's done, when it comes together, you'll see what I mean. But it's like a femme fatale smoky eye. And you can do a red lip with this, but we're going to keep it neutral with this one. Okay, so we have this first base down, and look, it can be messy, right? There's a reason for that too. So the next thing you're going to do is grab one of these domes. I know this looks green. It's really not. I think it just got dyed. Okay, so the next palette that I'm going to use is this one by Makeup Geek. It's one of my favorites because it has these cinnamons and these browns. So this is what you want. If your eyes are super dark, this is the color for you, okay? And if you are if you have a very tan skin, or if you're a beautiful black woman, you can also do the same thing, line your eyes, and with this one, go in with a little bit of gold, a little bit of tan into the eye, use a lot of the browns to bring out the natural kind of reddish brown in your eye. So as you can see, like my eyes are extremely dark. I have very, very black eyes, where a lot of like everybody else in the family has super reddish, kind of almost burgundy brown eyes. So if you have those kinds of eyes, use a little bit more red in them. For me, I have to use a little bit more of these kind of, it's like a burgundy brown, more towards the brown. If you are a lady who has blue eyes, add a little bit of blue or a little bit of purple right underneath, and that'll help make your eyes pop. For me, I would have to add a little bit of violet or purple underneath to make any hint of brown pop up in my eye. But also for our black ladies, don't be afraid to use a dark, um, super dark shadow, because it will bring out um, the natural brown in your eyes, and it'll make them stand out. And also a little bit of forest green would help. So this is what you're gonna do. We're gonna start packing. You go from black base, and then on top of that, you go brown, and then you go a little bit more black. And then depending on your beautiful eye color, choose which one pops out most for you. So we have also a lot of family members that have hazel greenish eyes. For them, you want a lighter brown, slightly lighter brown, and a little bit of forest green. Okay, so it's packed. You can see that. You see the red. The next thing we're going to do is we've gotten that far. We're going to start packing. So the rule is once you pack a little bit of brown on the bottom, draw some on the bottom of your eye. I mean, when you do it on top, match the bottom. Okay, so we're going to take a small brush here, one of these. You might see it referred to as like an eyeliner brush. It's not. It's kind of a small, tiny dome brush. This is what you want. I can see why they call it an eyeliner brush, because you can kind of blend out your bottom liner with this or top. Okay, so we're gonna go into this color again, this cinnamon brown. And even though, even if you have a different skin tone to mine, this look will work for you. Because of the browns, we all have some kind of level of that somewhere. Okay, so we're just going to take this and line right underneath our eye. And yes, you do want to bring it all the way in right here. I did do this look on a redhead who was very, very pale. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. Right underneath. It looks the craziest thing ever, right? Once you're doing it, like before everything comes together, it looks insane. I know. Okay, and then the next thing we're gonna do is take a dome brush. Make sure it's a little bit tight. The waterline is this one, like right when you go down, this part right here. So you have your lashes that's below the lash line. So when you hear someone say line below the lash line, you want to literally go below your lashes. The water line is above it, kind of where the hairs grow from, that wet part of your eye, like the lip of your lower lid. Okay. I just dipped it in the wrong one. So without dipping this into anything, I'm not going to mess with this part too much. I'm just going to go into the crease and let whatever is in here come up. Okay. Of course, of course. So we're just going to, and don't be afraid to shove this into the crease of your eye, okay? Because you're creating like a little hollow, but please, for this look, do not go up too high on the bone, okay? You just want it right here in the crease, because we're just giving it a little smokiness and a blend, just like that. And then this side, we're just kind of shadowing a little bit right in here. We are not moving this up, and we are not going that way. This is kind of a very square kind of shaping. If you, just to kind of keep track of yourself, just keep in mind that you want to go up and this way, up and this way. You don't want to go like this. We're not pulling the eyes out. We're making them almost very square. And that kind of, we're centering the eyes, and we're making the eyes the main attraction. Okay, I'm gonna go in with just another blending brush that is slightly tighter, like this one, and it's smaller. Okay, and then we're just going to continue doing that. Basically, what I want you to think of is almost like you're touching the top of your eyeball, okay, while you're doing this. Okay, just like that, and evening things out. Okay, we're good. We're golden there. And just for purposes for y'all to see, I'm just going to wipe these right here. Okay. All right. So another thing now that we're going to do is grab a little bit more of our black. We're going to top this about 3 or 4 times. Okay. Oh, of course, do whatever is comfortable for you. Okay. So I've got this here palette. I'm going to go in with this black and go right on top again and again. And it does not have to be super neat specifically for this. And then right now, when we just did that, you're going to go in with a brown, a little bit of a darker brown, put it right on top. Right on top. Okay, and then for me, you could to smoke it out and make it a little bit more cinnamony. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this orange, give it a little bit of a copper vibe. Okay, just keep it here. This is basically one of those looks, like, think like you're doing it with your finger, but not, right? It can be that messy because it has to be, okay? Yeah, I am, Wyoma. And I'm, because the husband, he has like an event or whatever. So he told me, like, that's why I'm rushing it through this. And then I'm going to make the quiche, and hopefully we can just fit dinner into it too. And now I'm taking this here flat brush, going back under here, and I'll show y'all. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with a little bit more of that brown. It's like an orange brown, okay? Now, this is the blending process. Wasn't sure if that was going to be a short. No, I'm going to make it for y'all right here. And while that's baking, we'll probably just do the dinner. Just because I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to do that tomorrow because it's my little sweetie's birthday, and I have to make a DIY Stanley Cup trophy, and I have to prep all of the food and everything because we're having like an avalanche after party theme. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. If you can see, like, my eyes are already starting to look, maybe I'll come a little closer. See how, do you see how this part right here doesn't look even? That's okay, because this is when you blend. So you're going to take a flat, fluffy brush, okay? Like this, okay? And this is when you start blending. And don't worry about giving your eyes raccoon eyes, because it's not going to matter. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. He's very excited for my little sweetie. That's Mama's little baby. Okay. And I'll come closer. And you guys, if you remember, I told you in the last makeup that we did, I never powder under my eyes or directly under my eyes, and I don't powder my face until I'm done with everything, just because these are one of the looks, if you have fallout, then you can go back and touch up your makeup or foundation. If you do put powder underneath, forget about even trying to clear that up. And I will come up close again to show y'all what I mean with certain things. Okay, so I've got another fluffy brush. Okay. So we just went through this. We just smoked this. And then do you see how this here looks really rugged, right? We don't have to worry about that. We're just going to blend this, blend it downward, okay? Remember, we're going in a square, and you don't have to worry about making this part of your eyebrows any lighter or eyebrow bone, okay? All right, so this is where we're at so far. Let me bring down my eyebrows so that you guys get an idea of what I'm saying. Bring down my eyebrows, bring down my bangs. I heard myself and I'm like, ma'am. so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so for this look, and I'm going to do my eyelashes, and there is also a tip about the lashes because you do have to do them in a very specific way. So I still look like a vampire, and that's fine. And I'll show you why. So look at it right now. This is, we're covering here, and this darkness also brings out more in the entire look. But since we're here, let me show y'all. Okay, now we're going to move on. You're going to take an eyeliner. And it can be a stick, it can be liquid, whatever you want. You're not gonna have to worry about doing a cat eye because that's not what we're doing. But some eyeliners, not all eyeliners are created equal. So your eyeliner might not do very well on top of the makeup. If that's the case, use a liquid. Okay, so you just take this and you're just gonna draw right on top of your top waterline. Okay, and this one, all we're doing is darkening it. See, I didn't have to bring it out or do anything to it. We're just drawing right on top. And then right here, this is the magical part. Bring it into this, where your duct is. It's really crafty. Yeah, I really enjoy it, Wyoma. So we're drawing right in there. And then if you have one of these rolling ones, roll it all the way up so that you give yourself some room to do your eye, to draw top and bottom. If you don't have one of those and you have a regular pencil, make sure that you sharpen it until you see a pretty decent amount of the pencil popping up. That way you can use it to draw the inside of your eye. Okay, so you take this, remember we did this last one, and we draw inside of the eye. Make sure you push down on it. That way you can get on top. Some people are not comfortable with doing that. You can just pull this up and draw on top, but I'm not about to do that because it does mess up the back of your, it does mess up the work that you just did on your eye, okay? And then while we're drawing this, again, bringing it down, just like that, okay? And so they're slowly coming together. So there's this eye and then there's this eye. Okay, draw on top. And the one that you draw on top, you can do it roughly. You'll see why here in a minute. This is when you never have to worry about getting it super straight. Okay, and then close your eye. And draw it inside your eye, okay? And then we're going to take this here domed brush. I just had it. Okay. This one again, you go right on top of your eye. We're going to blend that. I'm a big fan of jumbo eye pens and eyeshadows. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I love them too. This is actually a really good look for that, especially the black one when you need to use it as your base. And if you do want to change it and make a different color combination for your smoky eye, use a different base on the bottom, but just follow the same rules of matching, mirroring them. Okay, and then we're going to take this and give it one last blend because we're about done with this, with the blending and stuff before we get to the rest of the face. This look really enjoys a bronze on top. So you can do something like a darker lip with this, but I wouldn't. It's one of those where, which one? The brand that we have, the foundation, the eyeliner, or this one is a Makeup Geek one. We also have some Anastasia. I usually use Anastasia or Makeup Geek for this look. And if you're talking about eyeliner, NYX makes a beautiful one. And actually, the one that we used last time from our budget list, that's one of the ones that I have been using. I actually really enjoy it. Where is it? I just put it on my face. It was the Wet n Wild, not the liquid one. Oh, there, it's right here. Yeah, the Wet n Wild one that we used last time, I like it. But do be careful if you do use it on the top of your eye. It is a little bit hard to blend because it almost dries instantly, which works for some people and for some looks, obviously. Okay, so this one we're blending. This one we're blending. I'm going to take the jumbo pencil one more time to just give it just a little bit more movement that I can work with. Okay. 2-in-1, yeah. Speaking of budget, e.l.f. lip and cheek. I love a lip and cheek, and I really do enjoy e.l.f. I think the last time I told y'all, the only thing that I don't do really e.l.f. is like skin stuff, like primers and stuff. It just doesn't really work well with my skin. Okay, so we're right here right now. Now I'll show you guys this is the part where you can adjust. So for me, if I put in a little bit of purple, it'll bring out some of my colors. So I'm going to take, I don't really have to. I'm not going to. I don't want to. Okay. So we're going to do the mascara. You guys, this part, I do want to tell you something about it. Oh, dang it. I didn't bring my other mascara down. Okay. So for this one, when you're doing your mascara, you're going to pull up and like this, okay? But don't go this way. Don't go this way. You want to go up like this, okay? So this one, as y'all know, will take me just a minute. We start at the base, and this is the part where it doesn't matter if you get any messing around, like any kind of movement right here. Okay, and then for this part, pull up. Okay, we're going to, and I actually really like the Wet n Wild one too. If y'all remember, we used that last time. So sometimes I will use more than one because remember I told you I really like this brush. For sure, for sure. I feel like this brush is better than some of the more expensive mascaras brushes. So this was the Wet n Wild, the Big Papa. Okay, while we're doing this, this is a look that you do want to do lower lashes for, but don't pull them down. You want to, but also don't clump them together. This one, you do want your bottom lashes to at least be showing, even if they're short, okay? This look, you also want to bring these lashes out too. You want the inner lashes to show, even if they're tiny. If you have tiny lashes, you need a different brush because so do you see this one? This one is too thick. There are brushes that are literally a stick with tiny little hairs. Cover Lash Blast has been. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I always have to switch up, Wyoma. Yeah, so if you have very short lashes, that does not mean that you can't get your lashes to pop. You just have to make sure that you're using the right brush. So one of the things that I like really hate to see like with lash extensions is for some reason they do lash extensions the way that I've seen them where all of them are the same length. Like that's not what eyelashes look like. Thank you, Carpenter. Oh my God. That's too sweet. Too sweet. And then we're going to use this one. Do you see? So let me show y'all. Do you see how this one is kind of domed, right? So it's thinner here and it gets wider there. If you're so because these inner ones are a lot shorter than these. These ones we need them to be fluffed out, and these ones we need them to poke out. So it's not the best. I sweat around my eyes, so it's the best waterproof formula. You know what, Wyoma? Oh my God, I can't handle a waterproof mascara. It drives me crazy. I don't know if you've tried it's not called Falsies. It's one that has, it kind of coats every single lash, and I'll have to post it. God, what is it called? I'll have to post it. So there's one, it has, it's a red one, it's red and white, it has a primer, and then it has a lash thing on it, and you get it from, you know, Walmart, wherever, Target. And that one is pretty good if you have greasy skin or if you sweat or anything like that, because it doesn't come off. That one, in order for you to take those off, you have to wet your face and physically just kind of pull it off of your lashes, and you can literally hear it go when it's coming off. Crazy. And it's really good. It's real good. Okay, we're going to go to the other eye. Okay, so this one, I need this one. So, yeah, buy mascara according to your lash length and their brushes, because the brush does a lot. There's a stiletto one that has a pretty nice straight brush. That one would work if your lashes are a little shorter. So my lashes are very straight, right? My sister's lashes are like super curly. And so hers curl a lot faster than mine do. Mine, they're long, but they're very, very straight. And if you want them to go even higher, or if you have lashes that are straight like mine, you're going to want to tilt your head back and push them up. And you can move your head instead of moving the brush. If you move the brush, you're going to clump it. Okay. And then I like to look down and close your eye and bring it up, because this one is also one of those that's heavy on lashes. If you are a person who wears lashes, this is the look to wear lashes for, okay? But you have to make sure that they are very close together, that they are not shiny. It has to be, how do you explain it? It's a specific lash. You don't want the lashes to be super separated. You want them to be kind of thick and maybe like a double weft, and they don't have to be super long. And then you can do some individuals on the bottom if you want to. If not, just use a mascara for your bottoms if you're going to use falsies. But I would always recommend you try your mascara, try to do your lashes. You do have to spend time on them prior to thinking that you need lashes, prior to thinking that you need falsies. Because I think some people just don't spend enough time with their mascara, putting it on, just because they're convinced that their lashes are too short. Okay, and look, I got some on my face. So I'm gonna give this a wipe. Okay, and then I always do this, always have, okay? I go like this, I put these up and I just push them up. I don't like to use eyelash curlers because I don't like the bend that they leave. Okay, so this is what I do. I hold them there for a minute and then do the outside, and then we're good. So that's the lashes. Okay, now since the eyes are done, I'm going to put a little bit of color on my forehead. And for this one, I like Juvia's Place. They have very nice color for contouring and bronzing, okay? So there's a dark one and a light one. As you can see, this one's been well loved, okay? And same thing that we talked about last time, you want to go into your hairline, bring it down, bring the color back on. Yes, ma'am. And then really give yourself some color, okay? And then we need to gauge where we're at with this. Since I am doing bangs, like I said, this is a look that likes bangs, okay? Hopefully this one will cooperate. Oh, there it is, okay. And we're still not done because we still need more color. Why is it doing that? Okay, I had it bent to the side for too long, okay? I will have to use a straightener to get this to cooperate with me. Okay. You guys are like watching me do this live. Like I would have fast forwarded through the part, and then obviously I like to take my bangs and brush them this way. And I do use one of those little combs just because it helps leave them all together for this kind of makeup, for these kinds of bangs, okay? Like I said, we're not done yet. So let me just move it this way too. All right. Now So we've got this. Okay. Now I need to put some color in my face. And this one is the Anastasia. There's different shades right here. I like to mix the pink and the dark one. Okay. This is, my bangs are looking a little fluffier than I like. Hold on. Right here, and then we move up. Right here, and then we move up. Okay, sweet. And then, if, because some of the more expensive brands do tend to be very pigmented, just use a clean brush and brush it. Okay. Okay. Okay, sweet. All right, and then, thank you. And then we are going to contour our nose. Do I need anything brighter up here? This one is pissing me off, y'all. Okay, okay. Now for the lips. Look, this one's well loved. I've used it so many times. I'm gonna do my lips really quick. Do you guys remember those juicy lip glosses that were like super popular when we were, how old? In the 2000s? The Lancome? This one's almost done. These ones? I got it at Nordstrom's. They still sell them. I thought they were done. Okay, so we're gonna take one of these, gonna line my super tiny lips. And then when you're lining your lips, you should go like this and pull it down. Then you can draw right on top of it instead of just like drawing right on top. As you guys can see, I have like the smallest lips on the planet. Okay. And this does help my lips look a little bit bigger without overlining like crazy. Okay, and then I've got some of this, and I'm going to use a pretty pale, this is the Too Faced Melted. Okay, and this one, don't use too much because it will get crazy. So I'm just dabbing, okay? If you don't have something like that, go ahead and put a little foundation in. Okay. This one also like a nude pinkish look. I want this pissing me off. Like, this is making me look crazy. Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now when I look at it, I want a little bit more brown on my eyes. Hold on, I feel like there's something there. So when we get to this point, after you've got like your mascara and everything on, you can take this and smoke this out just a little bit more. And then the top, bring it in. Okay. This wasn't so floofy earlier. Okay, and then I'm going to just add just a little bit more brown. Okay. Because you can just make some adjustments, right? Okay. And And then I do need to contour. Okay, let's see. Okay, and then, so we did the cheekies. Now we have to, sorry, I forgot to contour my nose. What is in my eye? Okay, I'm going to take this brush, and then we're gonna go make the food, because I'm just about done here. Okay, this one, you want like a flat one. Dip it into your contour. Okay, the darker one, that's the one I'm going into. And then remember what I told you about the nose, give it a little poke up, go on top, draw right across. Ugh, my hand slipped. Okay, do you see that craziness? And should I just leave it like that? We're not gonna leave it like that. Take another brush, rub this. Okay, just like that. And then we are going to, not only are we going to highlight, let me just grab 2 seconds. Oh, now I find my spoolie that went missing. Okay, I have this one. Okay. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I think I didn't grab the, that's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna use some of this foundation with this brush and just rub it on here. Okay, and then what we'll do is just the touch-ups, right? So you're gonna want to do the nose tip right here. Thank you. Is she feeling okay? Is she getting any better, Mr. Chronicles? And then we're going to put this just right in here. Okay, because we're going to, let's see, where did I put it? You guys, I feel like I'm losing it sometimes. Okay, we need a little bit more because we want this flat. We want this sticking out. She's doing better. She's on FaceTime with Brett. Oh, okay, perfect. I'm glad to hear she's better. Okay, and then the side of your nose right here. Do this one, okay? Side of nose, bring it up right in here. Remember, we lift and we lift, then we take this, we go down the nose, okay? Just like that. It looks wild. And then either get a wet one of these little ones and dab, or use your brush. This is just the cleanup part. This is to make it look nice, right? Bring this one in and dab, and don't pull it. Like, let's not, you can't pull it. You're gonna want to just dab it on. Same goes for here, the side, and then this part, use the angled part, brushy brush, okay? Look at anything else. Perfect. Now we're going to highlight, and we are good to go, y'all. Did I bring the other highlight? Yes, I did. Okay. This one is the Anastasia Glow Kit Sugar. We got this one. I am going to go in. So one is Gumdrop and Marshmallow, Butterscotch, and Starburst. So it looks like I would be Starburst and Marshmallow together. And with the highlight, you just want to give it just a couple of dabby dab and dabby dab, okay? For our beautiful tanner girls, Gumdrop would be fire because it has like a pinkish, peachy color to it. Would be real nice, okay? So we're gonna take, this is another angled one. Whoop. What you're gonna wanna do with the highlight, sometimes you'll see people, like you'll see like it looks like, you know, you took a very big brush and just went that way. You don't want to do that, especially for the tips and stuff like that. Use the angled part of your brush, and we're just going to brush this here, just like that, okay? And then using that same straight edge, okay, go up the bridge of your nose, okay? Just like that. And then when you're highlighting your cheeks, never bring it right here. You want it just right here, right above where your bone is, okay? And even if you think that you can't see it while you're doing it, it will pop in the light and it will pop when you turn your head, okay? So take this and this. I'm using one of these dome brushes. And then this is when you make faces at yourself, okay? So you got, do you see it? So there's this one. This is my cheek. My bone is right here. You go right in here. Highlight right there. And then you want less pressure on your face as you get lower. And then same goes here. Take this one. There. Okay. Okay. So that is what we do. Where's my shoe? Did that rhyme? Kind of. Hold on. I lost my shoe. Now, I'm like, how do I get y'all over there? Let's put this away. So we are making quiche. It's delicious. We're going to make some mini ones. You can spray yourself at this point if you want. Thank you. Oh, you guys, if you do spray, get you one of these and fan yourselves, okay? Don't just sit there waiting for it to dry, okay? You want to fan, okay? People got stuff to do. You got to get moving. You can't just sit there with the fan blowing on you. Like, fan yourself and go, okay? All right, now, let's see. I'm just gonna put these away. Hi, I'm Flo. Hello, hi. Thank you. Oh, you guys, hold on. Let me show. Well, you guys are gonna see my dress anyway, but let me show you. This is what we're working with. Okay. So this dress. This is the Valentine's Day dress for this look. Excuse the rest of it. Okay. So this is where we're at. And this is what it looks like in the front. And then I just have, because I am home, I have just these, like, hold on, these flip-flops that we used to have back in the day, as y'all know. And they are very, hello, Selma, hi. So yeah, so this is it. So this one, you can put your hair up. If you don't want your hair down, obviously, this would look really good. And yeah, so we are going to make some food. You guys, this is pissing me off so bad. This isn't supposed to be puffy like this. It's puffing because I had it off on the side, okay? I specifically made them, I cut them the other day so that they're not gonna puff, but they puffed. Preparing for Ramadan, I'll be preparing for Ramadan next week. I have to go to the Arabic store. Okay. All right. So we'll start off with the quiche. We're gonna be doing, you guys don't come for me. I had to get, I'm going to be using frozen mushrooms. I've never used a frozen mushroom in my life because I eat so many mushrooms. So I was like, you know what? Let me put these here because I might need them. Okay. So I'm going to put frozen mushrooms in there. I'm kind of scared. Do you guys think it's going to work? I've never used a frozen mushroom. I've never even frozen a mushroom. Leoma. The stuff I need, I can't get at the Costco. I need the qataif. I need, what else do I need? Qataif mostly. I need mazhar. Emmy. I didn't know either, Mel's. I just saw them and I was like, this is interesting. If I don't like the way they look, I might not use them. Something in my eye. Yeah, if I don't like the way they look, I'm not going to use them. And we can just make it spinach and cheese. Oh, that feels good. Got a little warm. Okay. All right. Put these in here. Lay, 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 lay. Okay. I should take this into the kitchen, huh? It's hot. I do too. Oh, you don't know how to cook them? Oh my gosh. Mel's. I cook so many mushrooms, girl. Okay. I'm like, okay, I might have to turn off the camera so that I don't like dox myself, and I'm taking you guys to the living room or to the bath. Lord help me. Okay, let me just. I am going to take you guys with me to the kitchen so we can get started on the quiche, okay? What is that? Oh, it's from the. Okay. I'm going to turn off the camera for just 2 seconds. Where am I? How do I do that? Okay. I'm scared. Hide live video. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right. Just have to move this. Okay. Okay. You guys, sorry about the snifflies. I'm just plugging this in. 2 seconds, y'all, because it is a little bit darker now. Okay, this is on. This is on. Is it? Okay. Here we are. Is this dark? That looks weird. Okay, hold on. So yeah, this is the completed look. Okay, let's see lighting. Oh, is that better? Okay, sweet. Let me just wash my hands. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a long one. I don't know if y'all can see that it's long. Do I feel like... Okay, let me turn this on. Okay, we're good. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do, y'all, is we are going to make the crust for our quiche. Okay? So, and this is what we're going to be making our quiche in. We are going to use chicken, start preheating the oven, 375, because we are going to blind bake this first, okay? We are also going to make our mini quiche in here, okay? So we're making 2 different ones. So while this is baking, we are going to move on and start working on the inside. I'll try. You guys, if you have a food processor, it works really well for this, okay? So, very easy to make. If you want a super flaky dough, use cold butter. I use somewhat cold butter, okay? So I have everything written down to make sure that I don't forget. But you need 2.5 cups of flour. Now, this is a double because I'm going to be making 1 large quiche, and then I'm going to make the mini ones. Now, if you do have some extra, wrap it up and stick it in the fridge. You can also add a little bit of sugar to this and use it for a pie if you want to. Okay, so you're gonna go in with 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. If you don't have a food processor, you can just cut this into pieces and just do it by hand, okay? You just want it to get to a sandy consistency, okay? And then you're going to need 2 sticks of butter. Remember to half this if you don't want it, but I would suggest make the double batch and stick it in the freezer, okay? So my butter is a little bit softer, but it is kind of cold in here. Now I don't mind it being soft, so. Okay, got this. Okay, and then add a little bit of salt to this. You don't need too much. I hate when you get a store-bought dough and it's way too, what's the word? Too salty, okay? Why is it doing that? Hold on. Oh, that's why. I didn't put it in all the way. There we go. Another couple of pulses. Girl, just, I don't even know. Hi, Chris. Hello, Jennifer. Hi. I didn't see y'all come on. All right, so I'll show y'all what it's supposed to look like. This is the quiche dough, okay? So y'all see it. So when you grab your dough, right? So I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. Like this. You have to be able to bring it together, okay? And then this part, you have to slowly add in your cold water. Were you watching? I'm guessing you were watching. Mr. Chronicles, I'm sure you were. That was crazy. All right, so for this part, you're gonna add your water in slowly. You can add an egg instead. You can add cream, but just make sure they're cold, okay? Just grab a bowl. Okay, so for this part, you're just going, I'm going to put this in a bowl. I wouldn't specifically do it. You can do it in your food processor and just slowly add your water. Just don't add all the water all at once. Cook a whole pig into a quiche. So there it is. You're just going to fluff this around to see just how much you're going to need, okay? This is perfect. Okay, now to this, I'm just going to get a bottle of water and just slowly add it, the water in there. So you're going to add water or milk or an egg until it comes together, okay? You go 1 tablespoon at a time. Yeah, we don't do the pigs. We don't. I do have some halal beef bacon though. Real good. That stuff is really good. It tastes like a very thinly sliced piece of steak with all the fat on it, which is my favorite part of the steak. Okay, I'll show y'all. So I just added okay, so I'll show you where we're at with about 1 tablespoon. We're right here. Okay. I need it to be a little bit more doughy. I'm going to add another tablespoon. That was a little less than a tablespoon. Okay. I am keeping this because I did cook up some chicken that I want to shred in there. You guys, if you have leftover chicken, if you go to get you a rotisserie chicken, and you have some of the breast left over, shred it, okay, and use it for this. It's the best thing to do with any leftover chicken that you have. This is usually why we make quiche, to use up our leftover chicken, okay? But I boiled up some chicken first for today. All right, so, and y'all, I did clean this prior to getting on. So what you see right here is the mess I just created, all right? And so this is the pan we're gonna use, okay? Because what I'm showing y'all is kind of like, it's a French style quiche, okay? That's the only one that I make in my house, okay? So I'm going to split this, show y'all. Have fun, Selma. Sounds like a good time, okay? Okay, so it's warming up with my hands. Okay, so we're making a dough here. Let me get my rolling pin. So either one works. I prefer this kind of rolling pin, but that one's good too, okay? So you're going to make a little disc and just kind of keep on flipping it. If you see it separating a little bit, it might need a little more water, okay? The cool thing about these is because the bottom comes off, just like this. Because the bottom comes off. And Chris, I know that you got one of these. And this trick works for any kind of tart that you're going to make or pie. You guys, sorry if I sound like I'm breathing weird. My nose is very plugged. I've had like I caught whatever the kids had, but I feel fine. It's just try not to be annoyed by my breathing, okay? You can put the dough right on top of this plate, okay? And then roll it right on this. Okay? And roll. You just have to make sure that you roll it at least an inch wider or over where your tin is, and you can see it through here. Okay. And if it starts sticking a little bit, don't add more flour to it. So this one's kind of breaking apart, right? So this will still work, but it will be more fluffy and crumbly. You also don't want to overwork it. So I'm going to show y'all. I want to add more water or cream to it because I did not add enough water to it. And you guys can see the difference too. It'll be a good learning experience. Okay, so you'll see if you don't add enough water to it, it'll start to break apart. You saw exactly what happened to it. Okay, I added more water. Again, you can add cream instead. We don't want to over knead this because it will get hard. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take this. You don't want to add too much flour to this if it sticks, okay? But you can do a dusting, or you can dust your own rolling pin. Let me get some, actually. If you dust it, literally, it's just like this. Don't put a lot. Okay, I'm going to move this right under here again. And you'll see how it comes together differently. And that's the thing. If something doesn't work, you can fix it. I think that's what makes people nervous sometimes when it comes to cooking. They think that something is ruined. It can't be fixed. Anything can be fixed, I promise you. Okay, we're going to turn this in. So you can see it's not breaking like the other one was. Okay, then you're going to take this, put it right in here. And then we are going to, I don't know if y'all, yeah, you guys can see. Just make sure that it's all the way even as you're going around. I would absolutely recommend having something like this in your kitchen. You're going to want to use it for a lot of things. Sorry, you guys, my nose is bugging me. Okay, and then when we get to this point, you see how it looks like this? You just take your rolling pin, okay, and just roll this on the top, just like that. Remove this, add it to the rest, and then go back around. Make sure that it feels the same all the way around, okay? If you have any more extra pieces, see, I'll show you guys. See this part right here has a little gap? You do want to cover that, okay? Just grab a chunk and fix it. Go all the way around. Feels good. Perfect. When you do roll over it like that, it does tend to pull apart a little, pull away from the sides a bit. So you have to make sure that you do go in there and push it back up. There you go. We're done. And then you can use baking beads. You can use, what are they called? Beans. If you have some beans that, you save them just for your baking, then you can use those when you blind bake. Or the other thing you can do, so this is the problem, right? So we want to poke this. A lot of the times they ask you to use the beads because some stuff can leak through if a hole doesn't close. Or oil the pan, or does the butter help? Yeah, this will never stick. And I'll show you guys exactly why. The only time that it could ever stick is if you put too much sugar in this. Then you have a chance of it sticking, but never, okay? So what we're going to do, since we're blind baking this, you're gonna take a fork and you're going to poke it, but you might not need to put holes all the way in, okay? Just give it some slight holes, as in like don't rip it, because if you rip it, if you make super big holes, they're not gonna close, and then your custard and everything else will leak, and then your quiche will get stuck, okay? And then another part, you want these edges right here, make sure you put a couple of pokes in there. Or if you're afraid of poking it or anything like that, then just go ahead and use the beads. You can use beans. If you use beans, just put a piece of parchment paper, get some black-eyed peas, whatever, some dry beans. You know what I'm talking about, right? Let me show y'all. Let's see. Okay, like this, right? Get you some of these dry beans, put a piece of parchment paper, and then pour the beans over it. That way when it's done, you just pick them up and you're done. And then just store those beans just right on a container, baking beans. And that way, you don't have to waste any more beans, or you don't end up using beans that's been in the oven God knows how many times and end up getting ruined. Okay, so this is going in right now. This one is going to go in 375 degrees for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to turn our oven down to 350 and allow the quiche to cook in there. But while this is baking, we're going to make the inside. And we're also going to line the mini for the quiche, okay? So. Okay, let's set a timer. And just make sure that you do set a timer. You don't want this to burn. Okay. So, because we are still using this, I'll show you guys how we're going to make them in these little tins for appetizers or for minis, okay? And they do sell these in small ones. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the ones I have. Okay, these are the minis. Okay, but this is not what we're using today. We are using one of these. Okay. So for this one, what you're going to want to do is roll this out. Let's go ahead and we are going to move some of this here. If you don't want to add more flour and you're afraid of this sticking, go ahead and use parchment paper, top and bottom. So I started at 3, it's 1:15, so 4:15, perfect. Okay. Oop. This one's split. So for these ones, so the only time that I would tell you that maybe you want to spray anything is if you're using one of these, because if there's just a little bit of spillage, you're going to have a very difficult time getting them out. So this one, I would say, good idea to spray. Okay. See, we're still just using the flour that we have here. Excuse me. Okay, stop it. Sorry about that, it's the kids. Okay, so for this one, what you're going to want to do is cut out some circles. Grab the cutter. Okay, you're going to use one of these. Cut some circles out, just like this. Okay. And I don't know if I have enough for an entire thing, but you're just going to put them in here, okay? And I heard Scar asking why not just mix the egg mixture and the filling together. This is one of the reasons why. Aw, how cute. Okay, let me show y'all. And of course you can use cupcake tins that are bigger than this, but this is what you're going to want to do, okay? So I'm just going to make some, depending on how much we have. It's better to cut them all out, place them in there, and then go from there. This is also really nice dough to use for pot pies, if you want to, if you're into all of that. Okay, one more. Because I do want to show you different kinds, right? You can also make pot pies in this as little minis. Did it come? Oh. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry you guys are like having to watch me do this part here. But I just, so that y'all can see it. So we are going to just quickly bake these because they are smaller. They're not going to take 15 minutes to bake like that one. These ones you only need about 10 minutes. Good night. Thank you for coming by. Okay. So we've got 6. And so these ones make really good appetizers. You can make these with, whatever you want, right? If you have like turkey bacon or beef bacon or whatever, you can obviously use those. So I guess I'll just do 6. So there's 6 of them in here, okay? I do want to make the rest of these, but I don't want to keep y'all waiting. Let me just make maybe 4 more. very quickly. Okay, so 4 cut out just like this. You guys, these are good for like little lemon meringue pies, whatever you want. This is good dough for all of that. And these do freeze well, so bake them and then freeze them, or you can just set them up like we did right now and freeze them and then bake them whenever you want to eat them. It's up to you, whatever's easier for you. So the minis are going to be the spinach, and I'll show you guys. We're about to make the filling here. Okay. I'm going to save this one so y'all are not just sitting there staring at me do that. Okay, so these are going to go into the oven for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to add them right alongside the other one. Okay. All right. And then while that's happening, we are going to do our filling. Excuse me, I'm just going to clear up some stuff really quick. Everything should be done right on time. Because I want to get this done before the hubs has to go to his work thing. So, okay. All right, so in here, we just used this. I'm going to take the chicken. You can shred your chicken however you want. I'm taking this chicken. I'm just going to put it right in here. I just cooked this with some bouillon because I didn't have leftover chicken. But again, you don't have to use chicken, obviously. And this isn't supposed to be a paste. I'm just cutting it up in here, okay? So we've got that, and then let me get a pan. Hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry. So for any quiche, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you cook whatever filling that you are using. That's the important part. And don't ever mix your eggs into the mixture. Like, don't cook the eggs. You have to make a custard to pour over it. Okay? All right. So we have our chicken. So usually I would have had this already chopped up for y'all, but you know how it is since we had something else to do today. So apologies for the stalling. Or if I knew that I was making a quiche, usually like if I have leftover chicken, I would already have it shredded and just ready to go, you know? So it still wouldn't take 3 hours to make the quiche. To use this same food processor for an onion. So you're going to want 1 medium-sized onion. I'm going to turn this on. I don't know how long we've been in the kitchen so far. Hi, Mels. Thank you. Hey, BG. I was just thinking about you because I've been sniffling like crazy. And I was just like, oh, man. Okay. Putting the onion right in here. Give that a nice little blend. So it's not automatically better. No, no ma'am. Okay, so the onion is nice and chopped. Now you're gonna need about a tablespoon of butter and a little bit of oil. You guys, I don't know about those mushrooms. Like I said, I've never used a frozen mushroom, so that was new for me, okay? So I'm leaving them out of the equation. Aw, Mel's, you're too sweet. Okay, get the butter. And so the mini ones are in there baking, and then we also have the big one baking. The mini ones are going to be the spinach. So, did I leave my sody? I did. Okay. So when this melts, you're going to want, for this specific recipe, I know. I always get something going on with my nose. So for this recipe, you're going to want 1 large onion. You're going to want to cook it in some butter. You can add a little bit of oil to it. It's especially nice to add a little bit of oil to it if you're wanting to fry up, if you're wanting to fry up some mushrooms with this. The mushrooms help the mushrooms. The oil helps the mushrooms not release as much oil and as much water. Okay, they cook up fast and they cook up nicely. Okay, but you're gonna need 1 large onion. Let me move you. Get this. And you're gonna cook it in this butter and let it get nice and golden, nice and cooked down. Okay, because you don't want like raw pieces of onion in there. Since we are splitting this, I'm going to take just a little bit of this onion and put it right here because I'll save that for the spinach, because we are going to do one with spinach. I'm all paranoid now about the sniffles. So how are you guys? What's going on? What is good? No? Do you? Mel? Wait, hold on. I feel like you told me you eat spinach. Is it the spinach and eggs in the morning? Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah. I also have artichoke, but I'm not putting it in this one this time. But so you guys, this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to give you the base for what you need to make any quiche that you want. So we already just did this one here. We already did our dough. So you need that, or you can buy a dough if you don't want to make your own. And then this is the base that you need. Just make sure that whatever fillings you use, that they are cooked prior to you putting them in there, because you don't want them releasing any extra water. You don't want them not cooking all the way, especially if it's like a meat, okay? But I'll give you the base for that, and then you can get creative and do whatever you want with it, okay? This is taking its sweet time. Only God knows why. Okay, so this is about to come out. Ooh, they're looking good, okay? And you guys, when you bake these, the blind bake, so for the blind bake, make sure that you let them cool a little bit prior to filling them, okay? And they're gonna cool just like while we're sitting here waiting to throw everything together. They don't take long to cool. So once you have the custard base, fill it with whatever you want. You can just make like a cheese and a meat of some sort, like whatever bacon you like to eat. Add a little mushroom to it, but there is only just one base that you need to have, okay? Add just a little bit more butter to this because it's a little dry. Okay. All right, so these are done. Let me show you what they look like. Move this out of the way. And you'll see that it's not like super red or anything. Okay, so here is one. It's just a little bit baked, okay? And then for the minis, so I'll show you. So since the minis did not get pokes, they did puff up a little bit. That is not a huge problem, but I'll show you how to fix that because you want enough room to put stuffing in this, okay? Or the filling, I mean. Almost touched it. Just move these out of the way. Okay, this is almost done. Hold on, let me just bring this back. So whenever, if you're using cupcake pans or anything of that nature, you're going to, while it's still hot, grab something. I'm going to grab one of these plastic spoons, and you can just push these down on the sides, okay? Or use your fingers. Try not to burn yourself. Sometimes I just think that I don't really have feeling in most of my fingers, okay? And just push them, give yourself a little bit of room, okay? You can do that. That is a thing that can be done, okay? Okay, Emmy, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Okay, so these onions are done. Now at this point, this is where you add in. Now we're going to turn this down completely. Add in a little bit of your chicken. So I'm going to save just a little bit for the spinach. Okay. This is where you start mixing everything and spicing things. I would have added the mushrooms right to the onions for this one. But I'll show you guys what they look like. They're crazy looking. Yeah, I've never used a frozen mushroom. Okay. They fell in the sink. I guess it was not meant to be regardless. All right. So I'm going to turn this off. This is what it looks like. Okay. We are going to salt, pepper. This has onion in it already, but you can add onion powder to it. Okay, give this a quick little mix, and then, and this is the secret ingredient for the French, what is this? For the French quiche, nutmeg, okay? You're gonna want a sprinkle of nutmeg to go right in here, okay? Now, God, I don't know who this is without my mushrooms. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna add just a little bit of, I'm gonna add some spinach to this since I had to 86 those mushrooms. You guys, I wouldn't recommend buying frozen mushrooms. I thought I'd look at them, see what they're like. It's just not a vibe. You guys, you can also make this into kind of a Tex-Mex situation. You can add a little bit of corn, some peppers, a little bit of taco seasoning, some cumin, and you can make, and then, you know, add a little bit of cheddar cheese or Colby Jack, and you're going to be ready to go, okay? So this is done. The next thing you're going to want to do is, this is the ingredients that you need for any quiche. You need half a cup milk, half a cup cream. You can also use half and half if you want to. You can use all milk, but it won't be as creamy, okay? And then you need 4 eggs, okay? Don't need that anymore. Okay, give these a quick whip. Add these to your milk and cream mixture. Okay, this right here. Hi, Nikki. Hi, how are you? Okay, I hope you're having a good one at work. Give this a mix. This is your base mixture. Just make sure it's all combined because you don't want to have pieces of egg that are just, you know, doing their own thing in there. Okay, so here we go. You guys, I am a huge mushroom person. I need to see if I have a canned mushroom or something. I can't believe that those ones were so awful. Hold on, hold on. Let's see. Do I have any more? Okay. No. Okay. I guess we're not doing mushrooms today. All right. So now you're going to take, hold on, I'm just going to put this right here. We need to turn this back down to 350. It's preheating, okay? Okay, and then you're going to take your mixture and put it, oh, can you guys see that? Okay, you're going to take your mixture and add it in here, okay? Just like this. Leave yourself a little bit of room around the corners, just to give it a good mix, okay? So if you have Gruyere, like that is a recommended cheese to use with this kind of quiche. If not, don't worry about it. I almost never use quiche in this specific one, but you guys, I would recommend the mushrooms, okay? So you only want to fill this, I'll show y'all. You want to fill this only enough to cover this fully and have everything mixed in. And yeah, you don't mix it all together. You have to pour it over it because sometimes you have to gauge how much you need. Also, you don't want to over whip your eggs where they're too fluffy and have too much air because you'll get like a little hump. We don't want a hump. It's just not cool. And the cool thing is, if you have all kinds of filling, all you have to do is, and you run out of egg mixture, you can just make more egg mixture. No big deal, okay? So you want this to be nice and flat. Okay. And then you're gonna take your egg mixture, pour it. Okay, make sure that it stays below the rim, okay? This is a very simple one. This should not leak, but if you are afraid of it leaking, you can just use a sheet pan and cook this over your inside of a sheet pan, okay? Now, you can add some black pepper on top of this. I think mine has more than enough black pepper. I don't like to add dry herbs to this because they could burn in there, okay? Hi Undertaker, thank you for coming. So here's this one. So this is the first quiche, okay? So this one is gonna go in the oven. It's going to bake for about 30 minutes at 350 degrees. You always have to make sure that once you take your quiche out of the oven, you have to make sure that you let it cool for at least 10-15 minutes before serving it. Also, these do so well day after or in the morning. You are gonna want to, put them in the fridge, obviously, and you can eat them cold, okay? So this is going in right now, okay? And then I'll show you all these ones, okay? So we've got these. So for this one, I'm just going to very quickly, oh, I forgot about the onions. That's okay. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to do these onions very quickly. Add some butter. So for the spinach one, what you can do, okay, that's awesome. Thank you, thank you. So for this one, with the spinach one, you can add different things to it, like feta, obviously. You can add just the tiniest bit of, you know, pieces of tomato in there, like little actual pieces of tomato in there, I wouldn't go the route of using like a tomato paste or anything like that. Since you have dairy in this, it can curdle and get absolutely ruined, and it's just not going to be pretty, okay? So if you want tomatoes in this, make sure that it is a pieces of tomato. I keep hearing about your nails, Divine. I definitely want to see these nails too, okay? So I hope you do post them somewhere. Okay, just a little bit. These are our minis, okay? So you just take your dough and place it in here. You cut it into circles and place it in here. Bake this 375 for about 10 minutes, and then you can fill it, okay? So what Scar was asking earlier about why don't you just mix the eggs with the, like the egg mixture with your filling, is because you risk it getting too dry. You risk not having enough liquid for it to actually be moisturized, okay? So you don't want to mix it, you just want to place it in there and give yourself plenty of room to fill it up. Oh, oh, I can't see. Okay, I'll have to look at it later. I'll enlarge it and get a good old look. Okay. So we've got the chicken. Just a little bit. Well, might as well finish it, right? I can always make a mini. I might have to grab some mushrooms later because I need the mushrooms, you guys. Okay? And then we're going to take the spinach. I did strain this, but it still was a little bit wet. It's okay. But please make sure if you do use spinach that you almost towel dry it. Okay, so to this one, I'll add a couple more things. So this was spinach. I'll add a little bit of tomato. And cheese. I don't have feta, which is fine. So we are just going to take this one. Just there. You just want to cut them into like fours. There's something got on there. Okay. Grab this. So I do have the kosher beef bacon. That I will do with cheese, but I think the one that I have right now is a little frozen. All right, so we have this one. Okay, so you want to cook it like this and then add cheese to it off the heat because you don't want the cheese to burn or, you know, stick to the bottom, okay? So here we go. So for this one, you're going to take your mixtures and just place about a teaspoon. These are very tiny. You're going to want to put about a teaspoon in there in each one, and then fill it to not all the way to the top because it might spill over, but just fill it to cover your mixture, okay? Yeah, I want to see. That sounds really cool. All right, so this is off. So we're going to take this mixture, place it in there. See, that's too much. You just want it to cover. Okay. You want to have enough room to fill your liquid. And when they are this small, if you need to give it a little mix, just use like a little toothpick, or you can also use a skewer. I don't know if we will have enough time to do the dinner. I might have to post that as a short, just because, as y'all know, I have to go at 5. I don't know what time it is. We've been 1:45. I mean, an hour and 45 minutes. Let's see. So hour 45 minutes. We have. I was here at 3, 4. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I'll have to leave in about 15, and that should be done. So y'all will be able to see it. So remember, anything you have left over, you can save and just make more mixture. Okay, give this a quick little mix. I'm going to add the cheese. I like to add the cheese into the cups. Aw, Divine, I wish I could. And you guys, this is the part, didn't tell you this. So whenever you're making them in these little tins, you do want to spray it, because sometimes it will just spill over just a little bit, and that's it, you're done for. Okay, you won't be able to get it out. So I'm taking this, I'm not spraying this over anything, y'all, so let's all just relax. I just want to make sure these don't stick. Usually I spray them prior to putting those in, but I didn't this time. I was talking, okay? So put a little bit. You want to put your cheese in it and then cover it with your egg mixture, okay? The reason for that is it protects the egg from burning, all right? So usually, if you are a person who likes cheese on top of your quiche, put it like towards the last 5 minutes of the baking. Don't put it before, don't put it at the beginning. It will burn and it will be crunchy. And a quiche is not supposed to have that crunch to it. A quiche is supposed to be soft and custardy, with a custard cooked all the way through, and it still has a slightly pale color to it, okay? So you take your eggies. That's what my kids and I call them, okay? Usually I use, it would be better to use silicone molds for these if you have silicone molds, but you guys, I can't tell you how much I hate silicone molds or silicone pans, or, you know, the mats, I mean. I feel like I can taste the way that the silicone smells in my food. So no, just no. But if you are a person who doesn't seem to taste that, because I've asked people, I said, do you guys feel like your food tastes like the silicone? They said no. So it could just be my problem, you know? So if that's not a problem for you, then go ahead and use your silicone for this. It's the best way to go. It won't stick. Okay, I think I used up the skewers. I'm just going to use a knife. Okay, make sure it's all mixed in nicely. Okay. This one does not need to cook for as long as that one does, okay? This one, even if it was the entire tray, because it's in these tiny little batches, this only takes, oh, this one barely has any. This one only takes about 15 minutes to cook, and just watch it like a hawk, okay? Obviously, you can just do all cheese, okay? So this one's gonna go in. This is looking good. And we are at higher elevation here, so you guys do need to keep that in mind sometimes. So for me, I would have to go about 375 for y'all. You might have to go 350. 375 for y'all might cook a lot faster. For me, it would cook the same rate as 350. So don't be a Roz. Oh, thank you. And you know what? I mean, I wish that I could somehow give you guys all this food to try with me and to eat with me. But, you know, we do what we can. Yeah. So what time is it right now? Okay, so I have to go in like 10 minutes. Was she wearing that? The meat? Yeah, this is the look that I chose for Valentine's Day, by the way. So I've got this one, And I'm thinking of doing, let me just move this, something else tomorrow. But so I have this dress, okay, and this is the look that I picked for this. This one I forgot to say because we did do the makeup on live. So this look, like with this hair and everything, or this makeup look, also works really well if your hair is up. This is it's a smoky eye that we did, the whole thing. And if you guys have any questions about, like, you know, color combinations or whatever, just let me know. But this is kind of like the get up that I did for this. If I was wearing like a little black dress or whatever, I probably would have put my hair up. But so this is just one of the ideas. We did do the makeup look the other day for, it was like a burgundy red color makeup. This look does work with different colored lipsticks. I have one. I think, yeah, I'll have to wear a red dress. And so I'm like, okay, like, I don't know if I want to change the makeup look and stuff like that, because the bangs are kind of pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. I just cut them again after they grew, and they're kind of doing this puffy thing, and they're pissing me off. They weren't doing this earlier. Like you can see right here. It was probably because I had them moved to the side while I was doing the makeup. But I mean, I love red, so I love red and black. Like those are my favorite colors. But yeah, let's see where we're at with this. Do you remember Roz was saying, well, I want you to see the quiche. So I'm like, I want y'all to see the quiche. I don't think I've ever said her name here before. Interesting. But hello? Did it stop for you guys? Did something happen? That was weird. That was so weird. Like it did like this whole thing, like it like reloaded and it said you are live. So that was weird. It skipped, okay. But yeah, so I do have, like I said, since I think I have like what 15 minutes left, maybe. What time is it? 7 minutes. Since that's not going to give us enough time to do the dinner, I'm going to just post it for y'all. I'm doing a shrimp and scallops for dinner. It's going to be like an Asian inspired meal. And I'm also going to do some chocolate lava cakes, because I mean, it's either that or I would have to, like, I can probably go live again, but it would be like super late. I feel like maybe that's not the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, are you guys good with that? Or what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. So tomorrow I have to do all kinds of prep for Birdie's birthday. Because it's on Saturday. Unless I can somehow save some time to do it tomorrow for y'all. That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. That was so funny. Thank you. Yeah, I'll figure something out. So let me see. It's still a little pale, but we need it to be cooked. You guys, this doesn't take that long to cook, like, honestly, because you don't have to worry about your dough being raw or anything, since we already did the blind bake, and the eggs don't take forever to cook. It's only 4 eggs, and it was split. Like, there's still some left over. Like, we didn't use the entire egg mixture in there. But you guys, the lava cakes, I don't know if anybody likes lava cake. They are so easy and absolutely delicious. So that is something I want y'all to have for tomorrow, for Valentine's Day. Because I already had like the stuff out. Did you guys hear that? I already had the stuff out so that we could make, like, you can make them like singles. Also, the cool thing about this is you can make these. Let's say you get obsessed with these, right? And you want a lava cake for every now and then. With these, you can make them and stick them in the freezer. And then whenever you're ready to eat them, just stick them in the oven. You know, you can just have it all set up. Yum. I love ribeye. But yeah, it's gotten crazy expensive. You know what, Divine? I found, so shrimp and like, what is it? Shrimp and scallops are like unaffordable these days, right? I found them on sale. So I hooked myself up, I guess you could say, because I'm very much looking forward to having a scallop. Because I was thinking of doing like a honey ginger soy kind of sauce, right? With a little bit of lemongrass. And putting that, you know, making that with the shrimp. And then I want to see if maybe serve it over like jasmine rice or over the rice noodles. And I do have some jasmine tea too. I love it, jasmine tea. It was between that or what is it? Shrimp with lobster sauce, like some Chinese food. That sounds really good. That sounds really good right now. Really? You don't like salmon? I mean, you don't like steak? That's crazy. See, I don't like salmon very much. I like a smoked salmon, but I don't like salmon. Like, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of my favorite things that I used to get at a place called Einstein's was an Asiago bagel toasted with cream cheese. No, with smoked salmon cream cheese. So good. It had actual chunks of smoked salmon in it. Okay, so the ones on top are just about ready. Did I say, I meant like 10 minutes, not 15. Okay, this is almost ready. What time is it? 3 minutes. I'll have to show you guys how it looks. It needs another 5 minutes, but since I have to get off in literally 3 minutes, I'll have to show y'all what we're working with, okay? Okay, so these ones, iron deficiency behind. I forced my iron deficiency behind to eat some steak. Oh, okay. You know what? It's good for you. It's some good protein and yeah, definitely good for the iron. Okay, so we've got this one. Okay, let me show y'all. Let me scoop one out so you can see it. This is still hot, you guys. You did hear me say you have to let this cool, okay? You have to let this cool for a little bit. Because if you don't, then it's going to get ruined. I always do this, y'all. Okay. Oh. This one would come out fine if it was cooled. Just so you know. I'm going to let it cool. It's not going to come out without actually breaking. Okay, just give it 2 seconds. Okay, like it's spinning. Okay, hold on. Okay. So it does. It needs like another 5 minutes. But I just kind of want to show y'all what it would look like. I need to put this back in. But I need you to see it because I have to go, right? I need to put this back in. It needs another 5 minutes. But you saw how it comes out. They're little bite sizes. When these cool, you can put them in a container all together and stick them in the freezer. And it would just be like little chunks, little pieces. So, you know, the night before you can just take like however many you want and just let them defrost and they'll be ready to go. Okay? And obviously the other one is not ready yet. It does take a little bit of time, y'all. Let me show you. I'll show you what this one looks like so far. We do need to get it to be a little bit more golden, okay? I need this to get a little bit more golden. This one is almost ready, okay? So it would need about, this one needs about another 15, okay? Yeah, there is, you don't have to dab the top. Or anything of that nature. And you can see that also with these. These ones do have cheese, and you guys saw us add butter to them. Thank you, Divine. And you don't have to dab any kind of oils off of these. You know, Divine, yeah, the hubs gave me a deadline because he was just like, I told you I have a meeting. And so I was just like, but I need more time. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. We made it. We made the quiche and did the makeup in a 2-hour period. And it is what it is. But I do want to post the rest of them. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. I really do appreciate you guys. I will post the recipe, and you guys do have the base just in case you want to make a different version for yourselves. Please go ahead and do that. And if you do decide to do that, I'd love to know what kind you chose to make, right? So please let me know. Thank you. I was like, I need to finish everything. But you know what, Divine? That's the thing. Like, if you were here with me, like, I'm always like this. I'm always like this, like running wildly, like trying to get as much done as humanly possible. But all right, thank you guys so much for hanging with me. And we will see each other very soon. And the plan, it's just the plan, right? I do plan on posting the cake because it's supposed to be super special for my little dude. Okay, so I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and we will talk very soon.